All right, Panther, let's conclude our conversation about my early impressions of true freshman point guard Jaland Lowe in his finishing package. Now, if there's an area that he really can improve on in this regard, it is using his right hand to finish, particularly when he's driving right or he's on the right side of the floor. So we're going to look at 3 clips here over the course of the 9 games that the Pittsburgh Panthers have played, and we'll talk about those opportunities and why it's important for him to use his right hand beyond just the fact that he would probably have made these shots. So playing this first clip here, this is coming out of transition. He's going to get kind of this early drag. And again, drives right. This is pretty good. I mean, Pitt really wants early offense. They're pushing the pace here. Lowe can get to the rim with ease. And right here, if he just lifts off of his left leg, he is going to be able to finish with his right. This player is not in position to get over top and deny this. You'll see this because Lowe ends up converting this much more difficult underneath the basket, kind of up and under finish. But again, he's always trying to go to this side of the basket for the most part to finish so he can finish with his left hand. That's tough. In this next clip, you'll see he doesn't quite go to his, doesn't go underneath the basket, but does have to switch to his left hand to try to finish. And I think it throws off the timing here just a little bit. So Lowe, again, does a really good job of driving right. That's not his issue. When he goes right, he uses his berth. He's now clearly shed this defender. That berth definitely allowed him to shed the defender. And if he just goes up here with his right hand, he probably just lays this in. Or it's a possibility. I mean, he's 6'3". I think Lowe probably could just like dunk this ball. But he ends up having to go to his right leg. So he takes an extra step, switches to his left hand, and he now is trying to like bank this off the backboard to finish. That's a much more difficult type of attempt. And it doesn't end up going in for him. He's looking for a foul. Here we see against Florida a very similar thing. This is going to be similar to the first clip. Now, if you see right here, if he just lifts, he's going to probably be able to finish this. Or if maybe a step before this, he can just stride out and lay this ball in. You've watched him do that with his left hand in the last clip. But here, he's going to try to go all the way underneath the basket, jumping off his right foot in an attempt to finish with his left hand. You're also going to kick this out to a wide open Zach Austin. Not sure if he would have made it, but that was available too. But this is a much more difficult attempt that ends up getting blocked, because he tries to go under the basket and finish with his left hand, which is obviously closer to the defender that is trailing at that point. So Lowe is a really good player. I think really highly of him. His passing feels great. We've talked about it. He has a really good floater, I think, and that's developing. Good in the sense that he understands he needs that type of shot. He can finish with his left. I think that's growing. He's becoming more confident, more comfortable, but he needs to be able to finish with his right hand. The minute he is able to comfortably do that, he is going to be far more difficult to guard, and he's going to finish at a much higher rate, in my opinion, around the rim, because he's not going to limit himself to having to go, use angles that are only available to a player trying to finish with his left. So is this going to happen? I hope so. Sooner than later. It'll be much more interesting to watch. And then I also think that this is something he needs to get to by the time Pitt gets to the middle of ACC play this season, if he's going to want to be a heavier contributor, especially offensively for the team.